Ang amazing Tuesday afternoon. Hello, science and learners, teachers, and enthusiasts. I am Tutor Rainier G. De Jesus. You can call me Tutor Rainier from Manuel Luis Quezon High School, Schools Division Office of Caloocan City. Welcome to our ETULAY online tutorial on TV. Talaga namang #ETULAY Level Up. Dahil hindi lang tayo magkikita-kita sa Facebook at YouTube, may IBC 13 pa. So sit back, relax, and have your self-learning module ready with you. This is Science 10 Quarter 2 Week 2. Ang lesson o topic natin ngayon ay Different Forms of Electromagnetic Waves Part 2. Maraming salamat po sa ating learning partners katulad ng Bureau of Learning Resources o BLR at ang ating ginagamit po na self-learning module mula sa DepEd Central Office ay Alternative Delivery Mode or ADM. Yan. So let's move po tayo sa ating most essential learning competencies para sa Quarter 2 Week 2. Identify the relationship among wavelength, frequency, and energy of an electromagnetic wave. Meron po itong code na S10 FE-2A-B-47. Next, what I need to know. These are few reminders or gentle reminders for this session. Number 1, take the pre-test before reading the rest of the module. Number 2, take time in reading and understanding the lesson. Follow instructions carefully and do all activities diligently. This module is designed for independent or self-paced study. 3. Use a clean sheet of paper for your answers in each activity or assessment. Don't forget to write your name and label it properly. Number 4. Try to recall and connect the ideas about waves that you had in the lower years. Use the concept discussed in the lesson to explain the results of the activities or performance tasks. You may answer in English or combination of vernacular and English, pwedeng Tagalog or English. Number 5, be honest. When doing the activities, record only what you have really observed. Take the self-assessments after each activity, but do not turn the answer key unless you are done with the entire module. Number 6, don't hesitate to ask. Sabi nga, huwag mahiyang magtanong. If you need to clarify something, approach or contact your teacher or any knowledgeable person available to help you. You may also look into other references for further information. There is a list of reference at the back of your SLM. Number 7, take the post-test prepared at the end of the module, so you can assess how much you have learned from this module. And number 8, you can check your answers in the activities, self-assessments, and post-tests after you finish the entire module to know how much you have gained from the lesson and the activities. Ready?
Okay, let's proceed to what I know of your SLM. This is multiple choice. Let me read the directions first. Directions. Read each question carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Use a separate sheet of paper for your answers. Are you ready? Let's have question number 1. What happens to the frequency of electromagnetic wave if its wavelength increases? A. It decreases. B. It doubles. C. It increases as well. Or D. It remains the same. I will count 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay letter A, it decreases, ikaw ay mahusay. Let's proceed to question number 2. Among the given electromagnetic waves below, which carries the most energy? A. Microwave. B. Radio wave. C. Ultraviolet ray. Or D. Visible lights. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay letter C, ultraviolet ray, ikaw ay ag-amazing. Question number 3. Which of the following statements is correct? A. Gamma ray has the highest frequency and the highest energy. B. Gamma ray has the highest frequency but has the least energy. C. Radio wave has the highest frequency and the highest energy. Or D, radio wave has the lowest frequency but has the highest energy. Let me count again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay letter A, gamma ray has the highest frequency and the highest energy, ikaw naman ay cytastic. Let's proceed to question number 4. Which electromagnetic wave can travel the farthest distances because it has a wavelength range of greater than 1 times 10 to the negative 1 meters? A. Microwave. B. Radio wave. C. Ultraviolet ray. Or D. Visible lights. Let me count. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay radio wave, ikaw ay mahusay. Let's proceed to the last question, question number 5. Which among the following electromagnetic waves has the lowest frequency? A. Gamma ray. B. Infrared. C. Ultraviolet ray. Or D. Visible lights. Let me count. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay letter B, infrared, ikaw ay ag-amazing. Congratulations, Science 10 learners!
Now, let us proceed to the next part of our SLM. This is what's in, jumbled letters. Narito ang mga directions. Rearrange the jumbled letters to form the term being described. Do this on a separate sheet of paper. This is the first statement. It is the distance between two successive identical parts of a wave. Letters E, N, E, V, T, G, W, L, A, H. Let me count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay wavelength, ikaw ay mahusay. Congratulations! And this is the last statement. It refers to the extent or the limits between which variation is possible. These are the letters A, R, G, N, E. Let me count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay range, ikaw ay cytastic. Congratulations, Science 10 learners! Nasagutan mo lahat ng mga items para sa What I Know and What's In. Ngayon, Science 10 learners, balikan natin ang mga science concept na ating napag-aralan noong week 1 last week. Quick recall, electromagnetic wave or EM wave or electromagnetic radiation is a wave that is created as a result of vibrations between an electric field and magnetic field, hence known as electromagnetic wave. Tandaan na may dalawang salita tayong nabanggit, ang electric field and magnetic field. Try to recall also that it was Hans Christian Ørsted, a Danish physicist and chemist, who discovered that electric currents create magnetic fields, which was the first connection found between electricity and magnetism. Kaya ang discovery ni Hans Christian Ørsted ay a changing electric field produces magnetic field. We also discussed the contribution of Michael Faraday in physics. Michael Faraday, an English scientist who contributed to the study of electromagnetism and electrochemistry. His main discoveries include the principles underlying electromagnetic induction, diamagnetism, and electrolysis. Kaya naman, ang discovery ni Michael Faraday ay the changing magnetic field will produce electric field. Ang lahat ng kanilang mga discoveries and contributions ay may kinalaman sa electromagnetism. Next, electromagnetic waves can travel through vacuum. They travel in a vacuum at a speed of 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Ibig sabihin, 300 million meters per second. Now, let's proceed to what's more section in your SLM. Enrichment activity number 1. Let me read the directions. Using figure 1, determine the wavelength ranges of each of the forms of electromagnetic waves. Narito ang mga illustrations ng 7 types of electromagnetic waves from radio waves to gamma rays. pinapakita rin dito ang wavelengths in meters ng bawat electromagnetic wave at visible light at 7 colors ng rainbow, yung Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Narito naman ang wavelength ranges ng bawat electromagnetic wave mula sa radio wave hanggang gamma ray. Let me read. Electromagnetic wave and wavelength ranges in meters. Greater than 1 times 10 to the negative 1. Microwave, 1 times 10 to the negative 3 to 1 times 10 to the negative 1. Infrared, 7 times 10 to the negative 7 to 1 times 10 to the negative 3. Visible light, 4 times 10 to the negative 7 to 7 times 10 to the negative 7. Ultraviolet or UV, 1 times 10 to the negative 8 to 4 times 10 to the negative 7. X-ray, 1 times 10 to the negative 11 to 1 times 10 to the negative 8. And gamma ray, less than 1 times 10 to the negative 11. So what have you noticed on the wavelength ranges in meters as EM waves progressed from radio wave to gamma ray? Now, let's answer question number 3. Observe what happens to the wavelength of the electromagnetic waves as they progress goes rightward from the figure. Does the wavelength of the electromagnetic wave increase or decrease as we go from radio wave to gamma ray? Kung napansin ninyo, ang mga wavelength ranges ay bumababa ng value, ibig sabihin, the wavelength ranges decreases in value. You are amazing science learners. Remember that the radio wave has the longest wavelength among electromagnetic wave and gamma rays has the shortest wavelength. So the answer in question number 3 is the wavelength of the electromagnetic wave decreases as we go from radio wave to gamma ray. Ibig sabihin nito, ang wavelengths ay umiigsi habang papunta sa gamma ray. Let's move to the next enrichment activity. Enrichment activity number 2. Using figure number 2, compare the frequencies of different electromagnetic waves. Narito naman ang illustration na nagpapakita ng frequency ranges in terms of hertz mula radio wave hanggang gamma rays. So let's focus on the frequency ranges of all electromagnetic waves. Meron tayong table. Again, nandito po ang table ng electromagnetic wave and frequency range in hertz. Radio wave, less than 3 times 10 to the 9. Microwave, 3 times 10 to the 9 to 3 times 10 to the positive 11. Infrared, 3 times 10 to the 11 to 4 times 10 to the 14. Visible light, 4 times 10 to the 14 to 7.5 times 10 to the 14. Ultraviolet rays, 7.5 times 10 to the 14 to 3 times 10 to the 16. X-ray, 3 times 10 to the 16 to 3 times 10 to the 19. And the gamma ray, greater than 3 times 10 to the 19 hertz. What have you noticed on the frequency ranges in terms of hertz as EM waves progresses from radio wave to gamma rays? But before you answer, let's move to the next part, and this is question number 3. The energy of electromagnetic wave also depends on its frequency, which means waves with higher frequency has higher energy too. Which among the electromagnetic wave has the highest energy? If your answer is the gamma ray has the highest energy, you are mahusay. Ang trend naman ng frequency in hertz ay ganito. From radio wave, since it has longest wavelength among electromagnetic waves, it has the lowest or shortest frequency and lowest energy. Gamma rays has the shortest wavelength but highest frequency and highest energy. How about this question number 5? What happens to the frequency of the electromagnetic wave as it progresses? Does the frequency of the electromagnetic waves increase or decrease as we go from the radio wave to gamma ray? The correct response for this is the frequency of electromagnetic waves increases as it progresses. The frequency increases as we go from radio wave to gamma ray. Now, let's move to this one. Radio waves have the longest wavelength. Tandaan niyo po yan. Gamma rays have the shortest wavelength. Radio waves have the lowest frequency. Gamma rays have the highest frequency. radio waves have the lowest energy, and gamma rays have the highest energy. Now, let's move to the enrichment activity number 3. Directions. Identify what happens to the wavelength, frequency, and energy of the electromagnetic waves following the direction of the arrows. You may answer increasing or decreasing inside the arrow. Sa enrichment activity number 3, kailangan nating malaman ang trends ng wavelength, frequency, and energy. Ibig sabihin nito, ito ay increasing or decreasing. Tandaan natin, sa wavelength, ang trend ay decreasing. Sa frequency naman, ito ay increasing. Sa energy, ito naman ay increasing. I hope we have the same answers on this activity. As a summary of all trends, these are the types of electromagnetic waves: radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays. Tandaan, ito po ay may decreasing wavelengths. Pagdating naman sa frequencies and energies pababa, increasing frequencies and increasing energies. Now, let's move on to what I have learned. Pick the word. Directions, pick out the word that will make the statement correct. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Ready, science and learners? Okay, let's move to this one. The electromagnetic spectrum is arranged in a manner of number 5, decreasing or increasing wavelength. Number 6, decreasing or increasing frequency. And 7, decreasing and increasing energy. For number 5, the answer is decreasing. Number 6, increasing. And number 7, increasing. I hope we have the same answers. Let's move to the next one. On the other hand, number 12, gamma ray or radio wave has the shortest wavelength and highest frequency, which carries the highest 13 energy or wavelength among all EM waves. Therefore, number 14, gamma ray or radio wave has the lowest ionizing radiation, while number 15, gamma ray and radio wave has the highest ionizing radiation. The answer for number 12 is gamma ray. For 13, energy. 14, radio wave. And number 15, gamma ray.
And now, let's move to the last part of our session. Let's answer now the assessment part. Let me read the directions. Read each question carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. You may use a separate sheet of paper for your answers. Are you ready? Let's have question number 1. Which electromagnetic wave can travel the least distances because it has a wavelength range of less than 1 times 10 to the negative 11 meters but has the highest energy? A. Gamma ray. B. Microwave. C. Radio wave. Or D. X-ray. Again, let me count. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your answer is letter A, gamma ray, you are agamazing. Remember that among electromagnetic waves, gamma rays have the lowest wavelength range of less than 1 times 10 to the negative 11 meters, but have the highest ionizing energy. Take note of that, science 10 learners. Let's move to question number 2. What happens to the frequency of electromagnetic wave if its wavelength increases? A. It decreases. B. It doubles. C. It increases as well. Or D. It remains the same. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your answer is letter A, it decreases, you are mahusay. Let's discuss again the trends and behavior of wavelength and frequency ranges for all types of electromagnetic waves. Mapapansin natin dito, science 10 learners, na ang decreasing o pababang trend ng wavelength ranges. Simula sa radio wave umiigsi na ang wavelength papunta ng gamma rays. Sa konseptong frequency ranges, makikita natin ang increasing o pataas na trends ng frequency ranges. Simula sa radio wave, tumataas na ang value ng frequency. Therefore, the wavelength range is inversely proportional to the frequency range. Kapag pataas ang wavelength, pababa naman ang frequency. O kaya naman, kapag pababa ang wavelength, pataas naman ang frequency. I hope this fundamental concept is clear, Science 10 learners. Let's move to question number 3. Which type of electromagnetic wave has the wavelength similar to the size of 1 peso coin? A. Infrared. B. Microwave. C. Ultraviolet. Or D. Visible light. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your answer is letter B, microwave, then you are scientastic. Balikan natin ang illustration na nagpapakita ng mga halimbawa ng laki o size ng electromagnetic waves. Sa question number 3, ang microwave ay may kahalintulad na size ng isang barya o coin. Kaya ang sagot sa question number 3 ay letter B, microwave. Let's move to question number 4. Which of the following statements is correct? A. As the frequency of a wave increases, the wavelength also increases. B. As the frequency of a wave decreases, the energy increases. C. As the wavelength of a wave increases, the energy also increases. D. As the wavelength of a wave decreases, the frequency increases. Let me count. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your answer is letter D, as the wavelength of the wave decreases, the energy also increases. Then, you are amazing. Balikan natin muli ang graphic organizer na ito, Science 10 learners. The natural trend of frequency and energy ranges from radio waves to gamma rays is increasing trend. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng mga ito? Kapag ang frequency ay pababa, ang ionizing energy ay bumababa rin. At kapag ang frequency ay tumataas, ang ionizing energy ay tumataas din. Ibig sabihin, the frequency range of electromagnetic waves is directly proportional to its ionizing energy. Uulitin ko lang, sa konsepto naman ng frequency ranges, makikita natin ang increasing o pataas na trends ng frequency ranges simula sa radio wave, tumataas na ang value ng frequency. Therefore, the wavelength range is inversely proportional to the frequency range. Kapag pataas ang wavelength, pababa naman ang frequency. O kaya naman kapag pababa ang wavelength, pataas naman ang frequency. Question number 5. What is the frequency range of ultraviolet radiation? A. 3.5 times 10 to the 9 up to 3.5 times 10 to the 11 Hz. B. 3.5 times 10 to the 11 up to 3.5 times 10 to the 14 Hz. C. 7.5 times 10 to the 14 up to 3 times 10 to the 16 Hz. Or D. 7.5 times 10 to the 16 up to 3 times 10 to the 19 Hz. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your answer is letter C, 7.5 times 10 to the 14 up to 3 times 10 to the 16 Hz, then you are mahusay. Makikita natin sa table ng ultraviolet or UV na may frequency ranges na 7.5 times 10 to the 14 up to 3 times 10 to the 16 Hz.
Thank you very much, Science 10 learners, teachers, and enthusiasts. I am Sir Rainier G. De Jesus from Manuel Luis Quezon High School, SDO, Caloocan City. I am inviting you all to like, share, and subscribe to DepEd TV official YouTube channel. Magkita-kita tayong muli next week para sa panibagong Amazing Science 10 ETULAY session sa quarter na ito. Paalam at hanggang sa muli.